Good early afternoon, good people. Good early afternoon. You are now in the No Judgment Zone with your host, me, Sean Taylor, with my special guest, Brandon Lentley. We are discussing the topic of handling emotions as men, handling emotions as men. I kept pushing this particular topic back on purpose because I really didn't want to talk about it. I'm just being honest. Let me just be honest.
Yeah.
Emotions is something like, man, I just didn't want to deal with it. I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to dive into it. I kept pushing this back. I pushed this thing back 1, 2, 3, 5, maybe 4 or 5 times. Probably 4 times I pushed it back.
Yeah.
Me and Brandon was talking before we started. Brandon was like, man, I noticed that. So handling emotions, I know for me, I struggle with those emotions. But before we get into that, this coffee pretty good. All right, so before we get into that, I want to let you guys know that this is a no judgment zone. I mean, no judgments, period. Me and Brandon don't judge each other. We discuss topics with no judgments. It's just stuff straight off the dome. It's nothing that's scripted, but there's no judgments. Reason we have no judgments, reason I don't like judgments, is because it doesn't allow the person to be their true, authentic self. Okay, when you're judging them, they're going to be kind of standoffish. They're not going to be able to be who they really are. That's the reason for creating this type of particular podcast, so people can say what they want, discuss how they feel, and they don't have to worry about anybody picking them apart, so to speak. So, Brandon, how you doing, player? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, and I'm glad you said that because, like you said, when you judge people, it stops them from being their authentic selves. That's like I would say our older people. When it comes to the younger people, the older people acting like they never did anything, like they didn't have a past and they were not here gallivanting and acting a fool. I don't understand that. You holier than now. You forgot just probably less than 10 short years ago. You was probably still wilding out. You just got on the good foot, okay? It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. But it is what it is. And then of course, football was a disaster Sunday for me. So that was ugly. Yeah.
Jesus.
And then it wasn't even about the result from Sunday, man. It's about everything that's going on off the field. I did a video about it, about Urban Meyer and his off the field antics. He got up in front of his coaches and told them, "I'm a winner. You're a loser. Explain your resume to me. And if it's not good enough, you won't be around for year 2." Something like that. He said it didn't happen, but something happened. So what? Is that
how he said it? I mean, he said it like that in those terms.
He said it's not true, but yeah, he said it just like that. Yeah, and the hypocrisy and all of that is that he hired those people. So why do they have to explain their resume? You hired them.
Oh wow! Well, you got a point there. Wow.
Yeah, that's like you hiring me as a trainer. You go, "Hey, I'm a winner because I've been doing this for X amount of years. You're a loser because you're new to this. What's your resume? You done already hired me. You done advertised me on your website."
They killed the man's spirit. I mean, man, how do you even respond to something like that, man? I don't get that. I hope that's not true. I hope he didn't come out and say something blatantly like that, because, oh man, talk about a momentum shift, man, and especially when it comes to the morale of players. Yeah. Wow, good motivation, And
this goes into the topic we're talking about. And managing emotions as a man. Wide receiver Marvin Jones said he blew up at practice because him and Urban got into it. And Urban said he talked it out and they're cool now, but they said they had to convince him to come back to the facility. He was that mad.
Right. Man, let me tell you guys something, man. Handling emotions as a man is definitely a learning curve. Mm-hmm. Seriously. That's something, you definitely have to grow up and grow into a level of maturity to be handling your emotions. Something that I've always battled with myself. Because for me, I only can speak for me, maybe some other men too as well. We're always, and we've touched on this before. We've always depicted of to be strong, man up, just deal with it, things of that nature. So when you constantly have that stuff in your mind, it almost makes you. It can be a blessing and a curse sometimes, but it can always make you emotionless.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means, you know, a lot of men, you hear women say, you know, well, that person's not a great conversationalist, or this person really doesn't, you really don't know what they feel, or whatever the case may be. But for so many years, when men are have to act a certain way, because that's the way we were taught, and we're constantly shown. I mean, I actually told how to be. You got to be strong 24/7, 365 days a
Yeah.
year, every second on the minute, every minute on the hour. I
Hmm.
mean, you
You got to
struggle
be
with,
hard at breakfast.
yeah, you struggle with trying to express those emotions. It's you struggle with trying to express your vulnerability. And I was talking to someone yesterday. I was like, listen, you've never seen me weak. You've always seen me strong. I struggle with man, I hate these pop ups and stuff. I struggle with trying to show that other side of me, you know. So I could easily show that side, and I'm just gonna be 100% candid. I could easily show that side to my mother, to my aunt. I could show that side to them, because with them there was not gonna be no judgments. They were not gonna look at me different tomorrow or next year or next month. I could show those sides of those people. And for me, I know I changed between December 2018 up to this point. I'm not I don't trust the show. I struggle with the trust of showing, trying to show emotions um, with anything. So because I trusted those people, now those people are gone. Now I gotta trust these regular people, and I'm like, I don't know. You know, I struggle with how do I do that? You know what I'm saying? How do I trust the human spirit of somebody else? So I go back and forth with these things as a man, and it's a catch 22. It's a slippery slope, and it's something that you have to take for me one day at a time, to render myself vulnerable, to render myself. It's okay to show weakness. It's hard to find that balance, you know. So B, what's your take on that, man?
Well, you don't trust people enough to show that side because what his life taught you in general is that you shouldn't show that side to everybody. There's very few people
Right.
you should show that side to, that you should trust with that side, because outside of those people that you name, there's a chance that those people will throw that side back up in your face at any given moment. You
Right.
know, um, and it's unfortunate that it's like that, but you know, like you said, it's a learning curve. Especially that's why when people say, well, I don't see color, well, you need to see color, because then you won't realize what my full experience is by not realizing what color I am. Because if you want to talk about black men and manage emotions, dude, he has the biggest gap to close. You know, he has the biggest gap to bridge, because especially if he comes from a single parent household, his dad wasn't around. So now everybody mom wasn't a mild mannered, you know, feminine woman who didn't act out. You know, you got pretty much teenagers, young women who've been raising the kids, and young women aren't the best managers of their emotions, or women in general. And what did that young man watch while he was growing up? He watched her act out in certain situations. He watched her disrespect men. He watched her be angry. He watched her do pretty much whatever she wanted to do, and the consequences were somewhat minimal compared to what we'll face as men. She got slaps on the wrist. Now you, fully grown man, watching that growing up, going through life, watching situations, and you're acting out emotionally. Now, it's the consequences for you are going to be different every single time.
Right.
Every single time. Women for the same crimes, they get less time than us. Hey, this is known. People know this. Nobody seems to really care. So it is what it is. You take that information and you move forward. But you have to manage your emotions, because in a situation where, say, she may get a slap on the wrist, it might not serve any time, they may shoot you. That's why you need to have a handle on your emotions.
Wow, that was a good breakdown, B. It's almost like, I got a couple of friends, that are cops or whatever, and good dudes. I knew them before they were cops, which is why we're friends to this day. Um, just good dudes. Don't pull people over to start trouble or anything like that. Pull people over respectfully. The whole nature. I've actually seen them do it. So my thing about it is that um, I think us as men, black men, period. Um, I know for me, I remember, and I'm gonna share an instance with you. And on my mom, this is a true story. I had this souped up Honda Accord. It was all black and I had chrome all on it, tinted windows. I had all the all the crazy stuff you put on it. You know what I'm saying? All the extra
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm arguing with my girlfriend on the phone, right? I'm parked. I'm parked on the side of the grass, just going back and forth, just arguing. She yipping and yapping and yapping and yipping, and so we just going back and forth. I'm on my cell phone. So cop pulls up behind me. I'm heated. I'm heated because I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm not drunk. I ain't got no drugs in the car. My license not suspended. I ain't riding dirty. I mean, everything is 100% copacetic. So he pulls up behind me and he comes out. The minute I rolled down my window, I blasted the dude. I mean, literally blasted him. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He was just like, license and registration. I said, license and registration? What traffic violations am I doing right now? I'm just sitting here. I said, and then I'm going off on the cop, and he's looking at me like, I can't believe this dude is just going off. Over emotional, just going off. I'm like, man, somebody getting raped right now. Somebody getting killed. You need to solve some real crimes. I'm sitting there arguing on the phone with this woman. Can you hear this woman arguing? Can you hear her loud mouth through this phone? I'm literally telling this dude, what am I doing wrong? I got a nice car. I'm dressed pretty nice. I'm on the side of the road. I ain't making no drug deals. Can you hear this woman? I literally checked my phone for this. I said, you hear this? And she's just going off. I said, this is what I'm dealing with right now. What crime am I breaking? Cop just looked at me and was like, you know what? Sir, have a good day. Now that could have went sideways.
They could have went sideways.
That could have went sideways. But in my emotional state at that moment, I really didn't give a damn how it went. Because I was annoyed by this woman screaming at me on the other end of the telephone. But as what I'm learning as I get older is that, okay, you got to learn to master your emotions. If you can't master your emotions, you can't master anything in life. You got to learn how, men, and even in our relationships with women, we got to learn to master our emotions. No woman wants no dude. Every time he gets upset, he's calling out her name, or he's putting his hands on her, or he's causing damage in the house. She's got to understand, or she's got to realize that, or she's got to know that even though she's angry or you're angry, even in your emotional state, you can still see her for who she is and respect her in that manner as such, even if you are angry. My mom always said, my mom used to tell me, she said, Sean, quit letting people steal your cool from you. You just let everybody steal your cool. In any given situations, just fall back on calm. Because when you fall back on calm in the worst situation, first of all, people gonna think, why is this dude so calm in this effed up situation? I done this. You flip the script. You just stay calm, because when you're calm, people don't know what to think. Instead of you losing it, because in any given situation, black, white, green, purple, all it takes is a split second decision that can change your whole entire life for worse. There are people in prison right now over just acting in an emotional state, which got them life in prison. They're sitting on death row because they just snapped. Why? When did they snap? They snapped in an emotional moment. That's why it's so important to be mindful of your emotional. because an emotional mind is a narrow mind. You can't think. There's no sense of clarity. Um, everything is your vision is blurred because you're so caught up into emotions. When you're emotional, you assume. When you're
Mm-hmm.
emotional, you're accused. When you're emotional, your mind plays tricks on you, making you think that there are things that's going on, and it is nothing going on. Any decision you make emotional is 98.9% probably going to be the wrong decision.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to master your emotions, especially for us as men. No woman wants no man who can't deal with his freaking emotions.
Yeah.
What you think, B?
Well, it starts at the top with all things. Your first teacher of you helping you manage your emotions is supposed to be your father. Your
Right,
father is the one who's supposed to be logical. Your father is the one that's not supposed to be emotional, getting upset in situations. Stoicism. They always talk about stoicism as a man. It's supposed to be like a rock, a pillar, a stone. That's one
right,
thing. Like my dad, one thing I watched my dad growing up is every now and then he'll get a little fiery, just a little spice to kind of, and it was always after something repeated was happening. Like he'll let it go. He's like, okay, okay, I'll let that go. Okay, all right, all right, hey, tighten that up. That's probably about the extent of it. I haven't seen him all outraged. He's always been calm. And there's been situations, man. He probably should have put foot to ass. He probably should have, but he didn't. And I'm thankful for him for that because I watched him, do it over a long period of time and him manage his emotions in just about any situation. He never allowed it to, boil over to the point where he, was going to jail or putting himself in bad situations, doing things in front of me he shouldn't have done. He's always been a great manager of his emotions. And I always thought it was because, you always hear women say, well, oh no, men, they like emotional intelligence, blah, blah, until I grew up and found out that, okay, I'm not supposed to be acting like a woman and being in my emotions because being emotional is probably my weakest state as a man. Because when a man starts making, and this, decisions out of emotions, like you said, it can get devastating.
right.
Yeah.
We got a couple of comments, man.
Yeah. Dewan McIntyre says, love your transparency, Sean. Say, or they will use your weakness against you. Oh, you was talking about them using stuff against you. Yeah, they would definitely use your weakness against you. Yeah, after you've been
Wow.
emotional and telling them stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that comment about the transparency. I appreciate it. I'm growing slower, and I'm growing every day into that transparency thing. But it just helps, man. It just helps to be transparent, to be who you are, and a lot of people will message me. It's like, golly, it takes guts to, to talk about certain things. And for me, to talk about transparency, it's therapeutic for me. You know, I tell
Yeah.
everybody I'm not ashamed of it. I used to be when I first started, but I see a therapist twice a week, and it helps, man. Because when you're transparent, you don't have to worry about lying. You don't got to worry about what you said 30 minutes ago or last week or whatever. It is what it is. So when they bring it back up, you go straight to it verbatim, exactly what you said 5 weeks ago, 5 years ago, whatever the case may be. It's just easier to be who you are. And I had a conversation with somebody this morning, and I was telling them, I said, listen, social media, I'm pretty much trying to just talk from a men's perspective to men, but also get women to better understand us better as men and how we think and how we actually move. We are different from women. The big man upstairs made us different for a reason, so we
Yeah.
can offset one of each other, so we can actually have balance with where we're weak at. She may be strong, and where she's weak, we may be strong. So the
Yeah.
thing about it is it's all about balance. So I really don't like when men and women say I don't need no woman, I don't need no man. That's the dumbest thing for anybody to say, because we were made for each other. So
Yeah.
I don't understand that concept of thinking just because we've been through some bad relationships or divorces or anything like that nature, that every man is bad. You ain't been with everyone, so you can't say that, or every woman ain't worth a crap, because you can't say that because you haven't been with every woman. I think we need to change. Sometimes what we say out our mouth, we can birth life into that, and then it becomes our
Yes.
actual reality. And so there's a lot of women who want a man and to tie to that cold bed alone, where you've created your reality based off how you think and how you speak. How that changes, how your reality changes, is how you got to change the way you think, and then you got to start changing the way you speak. You can't speak negatively about yourself. You can't speak negative about relationships or whatever. You have to understand that if I want better, I got to start speaking it into existence. Start thinking it into existence. It all happens between that thing that sits in between your shoulders. People, we all are in situations that we have created the problems. The more we come to grips with and take responsibility and accountability of where we are, where we stand in our present state, that's when proper change can actually take place. But being
Yeah.
transparent, it is, if I can get one dude to reach out and be like, Sean, I appreciate you, man, appreciate you being, just honest and how you feeling. It's therapeutic for me, but I'm trying to reach somebody who wants to talk about it or has it on their mind, but they're not actually saying it. So I'm sharing that with the guys, because I said it before. Me and you've talked about it. Men, we have no forum, we have no platforms. Even though society has brainwashed, even society has brainwashed our women to be against us.
Yeah.
That's all society.
Mm-hmm.
And the sooner we realize it and we flip the script on society, and so we can start taking back what they're trying to take away from us, then we can better understand each other, and there'll be less divorces, there'll be less people breaking up. People start fighting for what they have with each other, the time invested with each other, instead of just giving up and throwing in the towel. There's always going to be problems. There's always going to be
Yeah.
situations and circumstances, but you can't you just because you leave one person, don't mean that the other person not gonna have something that you're not gonna have to deal with. You're gonna be dealing with something, or unless you're just totally by yourself, because
Yeah.
everybody has baggage. They just have different type of baggage. So
Yeah.
either you got the mindset to help them unpack, or just be by yourself and become a nun or a priest. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, but that's our reality. So, B, what you got, baby? What you got?
So when it comes to relationships and having that emotional intelligence that women say that we lack, is that when she does something blatantly disrespectful or something that she knows for sure gets under your skin, stop and think about why she's doing it before you react. Because yeah, I'll go, yeah, you pissed off, I understand, but why is she doing it? She possibly could be doing it because at some point she began to hand you the scissors to cut ties to the relationship, and she did it in subtle ways, subtle actions, subtle things she said. She's changed certain behaviors, and either you're not paying attention or you're refusing to do so because you're oblivious or whatever. But she's handing you the scissors to say, hey, I want out of here, but I don't want to be the one to do it, because so I can play the victim if need be once it's over, so I want you to end it. And then when you do not end it, she gets pissed off, she gets angry, she gets upset, and then that's when the attacks come. That's when the her saying stuff, doing stuff, being blatantly disrespectful comes. So when that time comes, don't get upset. Don't fly off the handle. Don't get into your emotions. Get very, very calmly, very, very calmly. Just say, okay, yeah, I heard you. I got it. Okay, well, it's time for you to go. Out. 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 And be calm about it. Don't get in your emotions. Don't get in your feelings. Everything she say, yeah, I got all of that. Get your bag. Go get your stuff. Make sure you get your curling iron. Get your flat iron. Get all of that stuff. Get them lashes off the edge of my sink. I don't want to see them ever again. Get all that stuff out of here and let's go. Calmly walk her to her vehicle, put her in the car, and send her on her way. Don't act out and be emotional. Not a ounce. Don't do it. She's not worth it. Do not do it. Do not get in your emotions about it, because she's already shown you she don't want to be there. So you accept it right there. Except it's hard. I get it. It's hard. You might have put in some years. I get that. Life is about to change. Got it. Cool. But it's over. Let it go.
Mm, mm. Hey man, speaking of emotions, you remember when the baby had that little situation with old girl,
Yeah,
and
Danny Lay.
he was I don't know if he was on Instagram, Facebook, I don't know what he was
Yeah,
doing,
he was on
but
Instagram Live.
he was filming it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it was a bizarre situation. I mean, it was weird. I mean, it was something I would have never done because
Right.
I don't want people in my personal business. I mean, there's certain things I'm going to allow social media to know, just a small percentage about just certain things that what men deal with from a male's perspective. But my personal life. No, they don't. Social media doesn't deserve a seat at the table of that. That's just me personally. People can say what they say and think what they think on that, but the way he handled the situation, which I thought was unique, is not one time that dude got emotional. He didn't get besides himself or come out of himself. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, the way he handled it. I mean, his calmness was pretty much at a level 10. So I was like, okay, I wasn't really impressed by that because that could have took a turn for the worse, you
Yeah.
know, because she was just, I mean, she had a reason to be upset, you know.
Put
So,
put hands on him twice. Can't forget that.
huh?
Yeah, she got 2 assault charges stem from that. If you watch during it,
Oh,
because I don't know how much of the live you
I
saw.
didn't. Yeah, I only saw a little bit of it. I didn't see
Yeah,
both
she
of them.
she smacked tried to smack the phone out of his hand.
Really?
And got a little physical. Yeah. Oh yeah. And that lets me know she knew he was on live, and for her to do that while he was on live, what you think she do when they're not on live?
Mm, yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah.
one of the I applaud him for his calmness and him doing what he had to do. I wouldn't have done it that way. I wouldn't have went live. I would
No,
have just recorded
no,
it.
no, no.
So I wouldn't
Right,
want all my business out there. But one of the things that he said during that altercation that I didn't like, and he doesn't realize that it's a bad reflection on him and not her. And I don't think people understand that when you say these things about the mother or father of your child, when you say bad things about them, it's a reflection of you, not them. He said that Shawty was never my girl. She was my side B. She was my side B. She was never my girl for real. Well, sir, that makes you look bad. That doesn't make her look bad. Why are you getting side
right,
chicks pregnant? Hmm? Why are you in
right,
this
right.
situation with a side chick? I'm not understanding. You are supposedly a very wealthy, powerful man. At no point should you be in this situation with a woman that is not your girl. So
Mm.
this makes you look bad, Mr. DeBaby.
Mister. That don't even sound right, Mister the baby. the,
DeBaby.
the baby, man, the baby. Yeah, man. So, you
But I
know,
applaud him for keeping his emotions in check for the most part.
right. So for our younger men, our men in their 20s, in their early 30s, man, you know, I had a lot of anger in me, just anger, and it's unleashed in the wrong way, just calling women out of their names and just stupid stuff. But that's handling your emotions. That's a person who can handle their emotions, man, is a very mature person. So that's for my younger guys. You should be aiming towards that. Because if your emotions, when your emotions take over, in some cases, people can't tell you nothing. You
Mm-hmm.
lose it. And after you act in those emotions, you start, and the dust settles and everything clears and you can see clearly. Now you see the consequences and repercussions you got to do for that emotion, that acting and emotions thing that you've actually, to, dived into or executed. Now you got to deal with that, because
Yeah.
after you do something, when you're caught in your emotions, man, you have to deal with the after fact of that, the aftermath of that, and it's 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
So that's why it is so important. You know, I tell dudes, man, if she gets you that hot, dude, leave the house, walk away,
Walk
because
away.
if you stay in that nonsense, going back and forth, now something's going to happen in the physical.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got to deal with that. Now you got to deal with that on your record, Or what if you do something so hard, or you shove her, she hits her head, now she's dead. Now you, man, it's just so many things that can go wrong in the heat of the moment. And the heat of the moment is nothing but emotions. That's all it is. The heat, that heat of the moment, that adrenaline starts to kick in.
Yeah.
Man, people have killed people in an emotional state.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
they didn't, that's not what they wanted to do. But once the emotions take over so strongly and you can't snap back out of it, now you compromising yourself.
Yeah.
You compromising your freedom. You compromising the life of somebody else because you can't snap out of those emotions. That's why it's so good to learn how to be a master of your emotions.
Yeah.
Period. When I see
Yeah.
who people are going off and the other person's being cool, that person is mastering their emotions, because I tell people all the time, you don't that the nobody knows a person more than they know themselves. And so when they are cool, I guarantee you at some point in that person's life they have lost it, and that's why they cool. that's
Yeah.
why that's why they don't say nothing. Niggas like, man, I done got myself in a situation. I'm not going back there again. Let me allow that person to act, because a person can only act a fool. Um, uh, when a person acts a fool, let him act a fool by himself. Don't entertain it. You can sit there and listen to it if you can't leave, or just walk away. It's just one of those situations, man. But handling your emotion as men is something men we have to do. We have to be better at. We have to be
Yeah.
better at. I've seen situations where women are just going off on a dude in public. I mean, just losing her. I mean, just losing her mind, just losing her mind, and he's just sitting there and taking it. But what other alternative does he have? Because if he strikes, he's gonna be at fault, man. So
Yeah.
it's just such a weird
It,
place,
it's
Brandon. I
not
don't
much
know
you
what
can
you think
do.
about that, man.
You're
Yeah.
right, man. It's not much. It's not much I can do. Being self-aware, I think, is so important. Understanding that, hey, if I do the same thing as this little white woman, I'm going to get a different result, most likely. I mean, that's two opposite ends of the spectrum. A small, little helpless white woman, she going off, she's acting the fool. People like, oh my God, what's wrong with her? Ma'am, are you okay? Are you cool? I start going off. It's time to put him down. It's time, hey, call animal control. It's time to put him down. Get the crate, get the tranquilizer. It's time to put him down. Oh, that ain't work. Okay, call the police. Let them put him down. I mean, that is my reality as a man. Period. And
Right.
so, I
Right.
mean, there's nothing to get upset about. Hey, it is what it is. But you act accordingly. And the way you eliminate BS from your life, I'm telling you, I'm guaranteed you're going to eliminate a good little bit of BS from your life. Majority of it can be eliminated by doing these things. Build a life where you have things to lose. Build value for yourself, things that you value that you do not want to lose. And then once
Mm.
you build that value and build things to where you have things you have to lose and you can't act out, only deal with other people who built the same types of things and have things to lose. So they're not going to act out because they have stuff to lose. That's how you eliminate a lot of the BS. Because when you deal with somebody who, dude, that's like me building this, trying to go where I'm going, and it takes off of me. I go to Fox Sports, ESPN, whatever, and I'm still hanging with Pookie and Ray Ray from Grand Park. That's just not. That's. Come on, dog. No, that's not. I'm still messing with Keisha from the block. No, 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 no. I got to upgrade, man. I cannot stay in this state of mind. I cannot stay here. Build
Right.
something for yourself. Build yourself in the best version of yourself, and then only deal with people who've done the same things. That eliminate a lot of the BS. You with all those emotional arguments. No, those people. You got a business to run, Sean. You're not about to be emotional and all angry and super upset with me over little petty stuff. No, you got a business to run. You got children to take care of.
Hmm.
It's that simple.
And for me, man, and people think this is crazy, and people are so shocked by it. I even had a I even had my client. I ain't gonna call her name. She's so crazy. She even Googled it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this thing, man, to where when I see a situation going sideways, or this person's attitude is kind of going to be in non-compliance of how I run my business, because I have rules, man. I have deal breakers. For me, to not go off into emotional tangent, I set the rules in place. I'm like, listen, this is my non-negotiables. I will check in with you Monday through Saturday of what you've eaten. That's a
Yeah.
non-negotiable. I got some people who are so good at it and eat clean so much, they'll let me know that in the initial consultation. And then boom, their results show that they don't need constant check-ins. But for a person, majority of people aren't built that way. They're not
Yeah.
self-motivated to be disciplined. They need you to constantly stay on them 24/7. I may have a couple of people who are, as clients, like, you really don't have to stay on them about their eating, but you do have people that is their Achilles heel. That's what they've
Yeah.
always struggled with. So you got to stay on top of them. But for me, not to get into an emotional roller coaster with somebody, I fire clients, and people
Mm-hmm.
trip out when I tell them that. I'm like, yeah, you're like, how do you mean you fire clients? You throw money away? Well, I'm not motivated by money because I didn't come for money. So money is not my motivation when it comes to fitness, because what I try to tell people, you got to understand, I fell in love with fitness in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Taking stacks of Uno cards, doing push-ups with my friends, and I just loved the way my body felt. That had nothing to do with money. As a kid, you don't have no concept of money. So I never fell in love with fitness as a money scheme, or my money ticket or anything like that. I'm not motivated by money, okay? Because money comes and goes, and if that's, I don't understand the concept of, I don't think there's even no passion when it comes to money. There's the passion for something that you love to do. That's the thing that has to drive you. And if I'm motivated by money, it's like looking through a piece of tissue paper. You can't insult people's intelligence. They can see straight through that.
Yeah.
I'm My passion is in helping people transform and change their mindset, because once they change their mindset, they can change everything else in their life. Until this change, their body is never going to change. This
Yeah.
has to change. That's like a person who is seeking out a trainer or whatever. When a person's mind is ready, they not shopping for trainers. And everybody's got their own concept. Well, Sean, they're talking about the budget, whatever. I said, man, every client that I have, I said pretty much 90-some% of clients that I've got came in, knew what they wanted, signed up on the same day. There was no hesitation. There was no good negotiation of prices. There was no going back and forth. They weren't acting like they was buying a house. They knew what they wanted. They knew what they needed. Boom, they done their homework. You, my guy, I need your help. That's a person with a made up mind. They've
Yeah.
thought it through. They've got the mental blueprint plan in their head, like, I need a trainer and I need this guy. Okay. I need this guy. This guy's not going to piss down my back without giving me the courtesy of rain. He's going to be straight up forward, whether I like it or not. I've watched him. I've seen his videos. I need to get this guy. And I tell people all the time, call me when you're ready. You're not ready when you're trying to get price checks. This ain't Winn-Dixie, Publix, or what I need a price checks on aisle 11. This is not what this is. It's your body. Your biggest investment should be in yourself always,
Always.
bar none. When you put a price on what you want your body to look like, when you put a price on your health, when you put a price on changing, but you do everything else that you would shell out hundreds and thousands of dollars in, that means your priorities is kind of jacked up. Your body is like a car. Okay, you can't. Here's the thing: the difference between a car and your body, you can't trade this in. Whatever you got, you have to work with it in order for it to change. But it starts with changing your mind first. But I do
Yep.
fire clients because I'm not going to get into emotional tick for tack with you, because I've I've been doing this too long. I didn't put my time in. I didn't pay my dues. I done been doing it so long. I can pick and choose who I want to train. Okay, if they got a bad attitude, they're negative, they're toxic, I'm not the trainer for you. And
Yep.
that's not going to work, because I've had 8 different trainers in my own personal life when I was younger, and however they ran their ship, I just sat in the boat, and whatever that shit rocked, that's why I rocked. Whatever they told me to do, that's what I done. I'm ex-military, so I'm glad. I'm so glad I'm in the military. I went into the military because I don't talk back. The military, the army. Let me just say the army. I can't speak for nobody else. The army is like shut up and get it done.
Yeah.
So that's my mindset. The more I'm going back and forth and the yipping and the yapping and yapping and the yipping, which I'm never getting the task done. I just show up, go to work, boom, go home. That is the army. Shut up and get it done. There's no there's there's no negotiations. This isn't a democracy. This is a dictatorship. These are the things that you need to get done. Okay? Let's work together, have fun, and do it. And all that other negative, toxic stuff, we don't do that in TaylorMade because I like the atmosphere and I like the people that I gotta hand pick my people. When they get a couple of bad apples, those bad apples, I gotta fire those. I gotta chuck them to the side. That's just the way I run my operation. I'm not trying to, it's quality over quantity for me.
Yeah.
And then I like peace. I'm a Libra. I like this. I like the balance. I like the peace. And I'm like, I can't put a price on my peace. And if I got to be here from 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, all the way down to 8, I got to definitely pick and choose the people who are going to be peaceful in this type of environment.
Yeah.
So the emotions, you can do that in your personal life, your friends, whoever you deal with, you have to navigate through that thing so you don't get yourself in the situations. Because again, no one knows Sean better than I know Sean. So if someone is pulling me in the wrong direction in a negative way, they got to go. So people are shocked.
Absolutely.
People are Brandon. People, when I tell you people are shocked that I can't believe you fire people. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's necessary. It's
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah, it is necessary. So we have 46 now. So you want to start to wrap it up?
Okay, let's keep it going a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
I
want to. No. See, if
I don't have nowhere to
start at
be.
1
I
o'clock,
just want to make sure for you.
You got me.
Yeah.
So B man, you're younger, B. What do you think? Let's talk about our your generation, B, when it comes to these men and younger men and their emotions.
Man,
What's your take on it?
it's a problem. It's a problem because so many young men lack direction, and that first teacher who should be a father, they don't have that. So they've watched what they've done was they haven't been necessarily taught by their mothers. What they did was they watch what she modeled in front of them, and they're emulating it. When I see a young black male in his emotions, I mean, he looks like a young black woman. He looks like what most likely is his mother, and it's an issue, and it's going to continue to be an issue until you have men who can help these young men manage their emotions. Because some are going to get it on their own. Because you have men who are incredibly intelligent, and they can discipline themselves. They can get some things on their own, but I think a lot of boys, you're going to need the direction because you don't know how to get it on your own. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to do, how to react in certain situations. And it is a problem, and it's holding them back. I think that outside of you managing, you having sexual discipline, you managing your emotions is second on that list of importance. And I think those are the top two things that derail men and on their journey to become the best versions of themselves is that they lack sexual discipline, which means that they allow this to get them in trouble by being here, being with this person, being with that person, being with somebody not supposed to be with, or dealing with somebody you shouldn't be dealing with because of that. And then managing your emotions, being stoic, being in when situations call for it, not acting out. Because if that's your MO and that's how you act out, it's going to be very hard for you, especially if you're a black man. Especially you get labeled a angry black man, and people have evidence of you being an angry black man. Because even if you're not an angry black man, you're just a random black man. Go to a random place in the middle of the USA as a black man, and whatever stereotype in that area, you pretty much is that, whether you are that or not. That's just the stereotype. It is what it is. But if you're an angry black man and there's evidence of you being an angry black man, sometimes video evidence of you being an angry black man, who's going to want to deal with that? Why?
Right.
Why would I want to deal with that? Where can I take you? What can we do? We can't do anything. We can't have
Right.
anything because at a moment's notice, we in the foxhole right now. Fire is raining down upon us. And if I can't trust you to watch my six, you got to get out the foxhole. I don't need you in the camp. Matter of fact, kick them out of the service. Get them out of here. I don't need that. I need men who are going to make sound decisions at crunch time. That's what I need.
That's good stuff, man. That is good stuff, brother. Good stuff, man. I mean, shoot, with that breakdown, man, you just killed it, man. You just pretty much killed it, man. And as men, man, when it comes to our emotions, um, we can't be on the top of the hill yelling and screaming down to our women, man, because that's not. I mean, how do we expect for women to respond to that? We can't be yelling and screaming at them like they're 3, 4, 5 years old, man. How do you expect for women to respond to that? I think a woman should be able to show who she is, and understand that, you know, us as men, we got to understand that women are way more emotional than we will ever be.
Yeah.
But we got to be able to accept them, even in their emotional state. And we have to accept them in their emotional state in a calm manner.
Yeah.
You know, not to, we don't want to, they're emotional. We don't want to get emotional with them. We want to actually they're trying to show that they're already emotional. So we got to let them show themselves. We have to, as men, we have to try our best to wrap our heads around it, to comprehend so we can understand it before we actually respond, opposed to just listening to respond. No, let's, as men, we got to understand where she's coming from in order to have the proper response.
Yeah.
Because the wrong response, all it's going to do is it's going to blow up the situation. It's like putting fuel on a fire. It's just going to blow the hell up, and that situation is never going to get rectified. How we get past the problem, we got to learn, even in her emotional state, just be calm. You could tell her, like, listen, baby, listen, we can talk to each other without yelling at each other. I can't hear you. I really can't hear you when you yelling. I hear you, but all I hear is anger. So we have to be better as men to make sure we keep our emotions intact. Not to say that we can't show emotions or have our emotional moments, because as men, yeah, we do have emotional moments, even if we want to admit it or not. You know,
Yeah.
but no man likes for a woman to tell him, and ladies, don't this. I know for some reason this is, oh man. When when a woman says to a man, you acting like a bitch, or you acting like a female, you acting like a woman, man. Oh my God, that right there is
Yeah.
just. I think we just need to leave that out, because
Yeah.
that can go sideways wrong real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if that dude is a dude. As dudes, I know I used to take it personally. He was like, okay, you trying to be funny. You talking sideways you talking out your neck. I was like, okay, all right, whatever. I mean, it's never a good situation, because if you're a real man, you never want to be depicted as having women tendencies,
Yeah.
so it can be rubbed the wrong way. But then again, it causes me to gut check myself and make sure that I'm I'm dealing with my emotions in the right way. So trying to handle our emotion as men, we have to find a better way to do those. But while we're looking for that way to actually handle those emotions, our women are looking at how we're going to handle the situation too as well. It's just like I said again, no woman wants no man who can't handle their emotions properly.
Yeah. That's just what it is, man. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I would say be the example. Be the example. Understand that you have people um, looking at you. That's one of the things that kept me over these years, that has kept me from lashing out and being emotional and acting out of character, is that I've always had my little brother and little sister eyeballs always on me, watching what I do, listening to some of what I say, but 100% watching every little thing that I do. So
Mm.
knowing that, I've acted accordingly. I try to be the best example. The people who on this planet who I respect the most is those that walk it like they talk it. Because as life has showed you, is that it's a lot of people who do not walk it like they talk it. They live fake lives, man. They putting on personas for these people out here, Sean. That's what they doing, Sean. That's
Well,
what
don't you
they're
do it.
doing.
Don't you do it. Don't you do
don't
it.
don't don't do it. Don't do
You
it.
ain't got it.
You don't have it like that. You ain't got it. Stop putting on the persona for these people out here, man. You don't
Right.
have it.
Putting on the mirrors, man. Putting on the
Yeah.
mirrors.
Putting on the mirrors. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Try to, just my goal is to press myself, not other people, man. I mean, um, the level up, the level up isn't about, it's not about impressing others. It's about improving oneself. That's the
Yeah.
real level up.
Yeah.
If your level up in your life is about trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to impress other people, man, that's not the true level up. The level up is not about the impressing of other people. It's about self improvement of oneself. So, which a lot of us we got to get to. So, guys, man, we as men we just got to be better at not mismanaging our emotions and to really think things through before we speak. You know, my mom used to tell me that she's like, think before you speak. Think
Yeah.
before you speak. Because sometimes when you don't think before you speak and you say something, you just don't want to sound like you're stupid. You don't want to sound ignorant. You know, so it's important for us to really think, and before we actually speak. And then guys, man, if you got things that you've been battling with that you suppress, man, therapy doesn't make you weird. It doesn't make you strange. It doesn't make you weak. Okay. When you need help, when you need professional help to help clear some things within your head, that just means you're just self-aware that you know that you're just trying to get better. Some people,
Yeah.
they how can you get better when you think that you don't need to get better?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that is something that I don't understand at all. Some people think they don't need to get better, man. I'm like, man, we everybody has room for growth, improvement,
Mm-hmm.
change, you know, to work on some things that that they need to get better at. But a lot of people walk around thinking that they think they don't need to get better. We all need to get better,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to that mindset, man. It's very, very, very important. So my final thoughts, man. You know, I mean, you met the old folks, man. My mom, my grandma, aunt, uncle. It was like, hey, man, just keep living.
Keep living.
Just keep living because life
Mm-hmm.
life will teach you. Life will teach you what I'm trying to tell you.
Yep.
You just gotta keep living. You gotta keep living, man. And those emotions, man, guys, we just gotta do better. That's just my final thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Just, just final
As you
thoughts, D.
said, therapy. Therapy, something that I'm going to do eventually, but therapy can help tremendously. Talking to someone about your issues, a professional, not just your homeboys, of course, but talking to a professional can help. And another thing that can definitely help, um, and you can work on this yourself, is that um, personal achievement. So personal achievement is like it's almost the root of happiness, because when you achieve goals that you set for yourself, I mean that feeling is second to none. And so
Mm,
personal achievement can help you manage those emotions, because once you find that bit of happiness, once you find that bit of peace, you're going to be hard pressed to let it go for pettiness. So in situations where, before you haven't done the work, you haven't put into work to find your happy place, as they say. If you haven't put in the work to find that place, then of course I'm going to go off, because I haven't found the thing that really makes me happy. I haven't went inside and done the work and found those things that make me happy. I've been using external things to make me happy. External things are a band-aid. It's not your solve all. It's not the solution. So personal achievement, achieving goals, finding that happy place, being centered, and finding that peace, you'll be hard pressed to let it go when certain situations come up. So find that, whatever it is. It could be a multitude of things, but as a man, your happiness is paramount. Nothing comes above that, because you are an example to your family, your friends, you're in a circle, your community. So you need to be the best version of yourself, because you got people looking to you.
I agree. So, good people, that's going to be it. Sean and Brandon, we're going to be signing out. Brandon, our next podcast is on your show.
That's on mine. So whenever I'm off. So whenever you ready. But
you off this week?
Man, I'm off the month, man. Yeah.
Oh, this Joker, man. He's
living
large, man. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, it's up to me.
I already got the topic. So whenever you're ready, I already got the topic.
I'm ready. We can do tomorrow. We can do Wednesday. I mean, you pick a day, man. So
okay,
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it offline.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking tomorrow, Wednesday at 12, man. One of those times is 12. That 12 o'clock time slot is really good, man. So
okay.
I'm interested to see what that topic gonna be, man. So you gotta text it to me so we can get on it, man.
Yeah.
But good subject. We got to do the part 2 of the subject that you and Gisela bailed on me on, man. All y'all jokers bailed on me, man. The part 2 of that
the show you set on my regular show day. Right.
We gotta finish. We gotta do that on. Well, we need to do that part 2 on a Friday, man. And I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to do it before the holidays because I know people got stuff to do. So I'm thinking probably this Friday, man, possibly next Friday. But this Friday would be perfectly ideal. But I don't know if you got a show on this Friday. But this Friday will really be good. So
okay, we'll shoot for this Friday.
Yeah, we'll shoot for this Friday, and I'll reach out to Miss Cologne and see if I try to catch up with Miss Cheryl too as well, to bring her on, man. So there's an equal balance,
okay.
on the show
That'd
too
be
as
good.
well. So
yeah, Miss Cheryl.
Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to her, but like I said, always at the end of my segments, I'll start judging people once I'm perfect too, since I'm no way possible never being in no danger of being perfect. You never have to worry about me judging you. So listen. Y'all follow my boy Brandon on all his social media outlets. Brandon, give your spiel. Where are they? How can people see what you do? You're
IG, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Just put in Brandon Lampley on any platform. You'll see me come up. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube. Hey, I got about to start cranking out these videos, man. More topics, more reactions. Hey, I'm about to change this setup. So, just had this white wall behind me. So we got some things in the works, man. So stay tuned, my people. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Everybody just keep it positive, man. Keep that positive energy flowing. Keep your heads up. Breathe something positive in somebody today. We'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.
Peace out.